In this video, we are going to talk about seminars and how to take part in a seminar as an undergraduate student. Just to make everything clear about seminars, I'm going to talk about what a seminar is, and we're going to shed light on the Socratic dialogue, that is the essential or primary technique that seminars are actually dependent on. We're also going to talk about the difference between a seminar and a presentation so that you don't confuse them while giving your seminar talk. And we're going to talk about preparing yourself as a speaker and how to speak in a seminar, how to take part as a speaker and also as a participant. A seminar is the act of bringing together small groups of people for recurring meetings, and in these recurring meetings, or in these sorts of meetings, even if they are not recurring, speakers focus on some particular subject to discuss, and everyone present in this session is required to participate, so there are no silent participants in seminar sessions. Seminars are often accomplished through the ongoing Socratic dialogue with a seminar leader or instructor, or through a more formal presentation of research, but in your own case it's going to be a Socratic dialogue between you as a speaker and your group of participants. So let's shed more light on the Socratic dialogue. The Socratic dialogue is a form of cooperative, argumentative dialogue. So the focus here is having an argument, and at the same time it's a dialogue. It's not a one-man show. You are discussing this argumentative topic. It's cooperatively discussed between individuals, and this discussion is based on asking and answering questions. The purpose of this process of asking and answering questions in an argumentative way is to stimulate critical thinking and also to draw out ideas and underline presuppositions that are relevant to the topic of discussion. Now, we need to remember that there is a difference between being a speaker in a seminar and being a speaker in a presentation. In a presentation, you have all the time to give your speech, and afterwards you have the time for your audience to ask you questions and you answer them. But in seminars, you have limited speaking time, either as a speaker or as a participant. You have something to say, and others are required to make comments on what you say. So this means that your speaking time is limited. And you're not presenting. In seminars, you're not presenting. You are discussing points of interest to you, and you're raising relevant questions to them and discussing them with your participants. One more difference is that using PowerPoint as a medium of delivery is not mandatory in seminars, but notes are mandatory in seminars because you need to see your notes and have everything written on paper in front of you so that you'll be able to remember them. Or maybe you would need printouts or illustrations in order to show them to your participants, maybe charts also. But the point is, they must be relevant to your topic and to the points of discussion that you're raising and the questions that you intend to ask your audience. Now let's move on to preparing yourself for participating as a speaker in a seminar. The first thing that you need is to identify your focus clearly. What topic are you going to talk about? And what specific points are you going to explore or are you going to discuss with your crew? You have to be ready with the main points that you want to discuss, what you're going to say, how you're going to introduce your topic, and also make your own notes as reminders to use them. You need to prepare relevant questions in order to ensure that you keep the discussion going. So you're going to identify your focus clearly, know the main points you're going to talk about, write clear notes that are going to help you speak or start the discussion, and at the same time you're going to prepare relevant questions to ensure that you keep the discussion going. You also need to remember and study the language that is appropriate in seminars and academic presentations, that is, how to ask questions and how to give or express your own opinion. You also need to have pen and papers that is required just to help you take very brief notes during the seminar to use them in your wrapping up stage. Also, you need to stay calm, you stay focused, and you need to use your body language effectively. That is, you need to stay relaxed and focused. After all, it's just a discussion, and you need to have everything organized, all your ideas organized, and all your questions ready. This is one of the essential elements of participating in a seminar. And of course, as long as we're talking about body language, you need to maintain eye contact with your participants. That is, you're not supposed to be reading all the time from your notes. You're rather supposed to be looking into their eyes while you speak, while you introduce your topic, and also while you discuss or ask them or answer their questions. And as long as seminars are academic, you need to remember that you must use formal language and formal expressions. So this means that you need to avoid using slang or informal language. You also need to be prepared to address interruptions formally and politely. You need to know that you are only raising points for discussion. You're not supposed to be speaking all the time because this is not a presentation. Rather, you are supposed to get your participants to talk and to listen to their thoughts carefully and attentively, and also make comments on what they say. Now, during the seminar, as a speaker, you should make your topic as focused and as clear as possible to all your participants in your group. And here I would like to draw your attention to something. In case that you're choosing a topic that is unfamiliar or a little bit complicated, you need to provide enough explanation so that you ensure that all your participants understand what you're talking about, so that they would be encouraged to ask you questions and to participate in the seminar discussion. You need also to make sure that you state an opinion, preferably yours of course, or a stance that you support, and listen to comments and other opinions from the participants in your own group. You need to ask participants in your own group about what they think about the topic or any specific issue or subpoint that is relevant to your main topic. You need to ask follow-up questions whenever needed to finish discussing a particular point. You need to listen to different participants, as I've just said, that is, their opinions, and you may also need to make notes to make comments later on. By the end of the seminar, what's expected is coming to a middle ground conclusion that summarizes all the projected or discussed opinions, that the raised questions, and how you, as a group, addressed and discussed them. And never forget to thank your participants for their effective and useful participation. During the seminar, as a participant, there are also some things that you need to take into consideration. You need to listen carefully to what's being said, carefully and attentively. You also need to make notes in case that you need to remember something, like remembering a statistic or remembering numbers or specific details that you'd like to make comments on in the future. You need to use the proper formal language in order to show your opinion in your own turn as a participant in the seminar, because it's an academic discussion after all. You need to use proper formal and respectful expressions. Whether you express agreeing or disagreeing with the speaker, you need to keep it formal and respectful. You also need to know how to respond to interruptions in case that they occur, because it's likely. Best of luck to you all, and if you have any questions, please send them by email. Have a great day ahead.